Okay, I was meant to do this hours ago. When I watched Charlie's video about it, but here we are. A lot of these shows I didn't watch because there was an age between, say, like 13 to 16 where I didn't really watch a lot of cartoons just because, like, I'm an adult. I don't watch cartoons anymore, so didn't do it. I got over that. I don't care anymore. Love cartoons. But if there's some patches, that's fine. Two Stupid Dogs I definitely watched though. That show is so weird. It's one of those shows that I watched a lot of and I remember enjoying, but when you go and talk about it, no one remembers. I don't know. I remember it being funny. It's purely nostalgia based as well, not based on any kinds of like intrinsic quality. It's just what I enjoyed. I'm gonna put B. 16 I didn't watch. Pup Named Scooby-Doo was not great. It was pretty bad. I just remember all the kids being kind of annoying. It wasn't awful, but I didn't like it. Adventure Time's great. I haven't seen all of Adventure Time, but from what it's incredible. So imaginative, so fun, great characters, amazing world, amazing lore, barely naked animals. I don't really know much about it or what it is. Gumball, I like Gumball. I don't love Gumball. I haven't seen enough. Definitely past my time, but it's really cool. I love the set design in Gumball. There was one episode of it where Dad gets a job. This episode's great. I don't know, that was my favorite episode. I just loved that. His dad literally destroys the fabric of the universe, just gets a job. Apple and Onion, I don't know what that is. Atomic Betty. No, I watched it, but I don't remember anything about it. I remember it being kind of fun. Okay. Baby Looney Tunes, I watched. It was fine. That was one of the ones I watched when I was a very little kid, and I don't remember terribly much about it, but I remember it being good. Enough. It was fine. Both the Batman, I'm not really going to say a lot about them because I don't know a hell of a lot about them. I don't remember really being obsessed with them. I never really went back to watch them, but I remember enjoying them when I was a kid. I thought Batman was cool. I wasn't a huge superhero guy when I was a kid, but fine. Ben 10 was cool. I didn't watch any of the Ben 10 sequels or anything. I just watched the original one and I enjoyed it. I didn't love it in any kind of way, but I didn't watch whatever that is. Fucking Camp Lazlo. I loved Camp Lazlo. I don't care if you think it's annoying or loud or kind of stupid, and definitely was one of the shows that kind of marked the decline of Cartoon Network, I think. It was definitely at the end of their peak. But for what it was and for the age I was when it was out, I loved it. I think it's a great show. Captain Planet I didn't watch. Fucking Chop sucks. And I have seen this. Oh yeah, I've seen it. This is just terrible. That was bad. I didn't like it. Chowder's great. Chowder's an A. Just the animation style alone, and the characters are great. The humor's funny. Chowder was one of the shows that I didn't really watch when I came out around the time when I stopped watching Cartoon Network. Is one of the ones I went back to when I was older. And, I get it. I get why it's great. It's an amazing show. Clarence, fucking hell. I've seen like a couple episodes of Clarence. I haven't seen enough of it to really have too much of an opinion on it. I'd just say it's there. It's fine. It's too old to get it, and I don't think it was good enough to really transcend the age barrier. What the fuck is this? Class of 3000 I didn't watch. Charlie with the Chance of Meatballs show I didn't watch. Code Yoko I didn't watch that. Kids Next Door is great. I love Kid Next Door. I was obsessed with that. I really like how they actually pushed the lore of that show a lot. I think that they did a really good job with like expanding the world building of the show from what it was at first to being very insular to like having a lot more characters, having a lot more world, the organization of the Kids Next Door being much bigger and wider. I think that was a good move on it. I think it helped expand the show from what it was to what it could be. I think some people didn't really like that move because it just made it seem less of like, kids fantasy, but I don't know. I think it still works. The ending's kind of weird. I never watched the movie though, but the ending of the actual series was pretty strange. Courage as well is an amazing show. Blending horror storytelling with kids animation and kids humor. Kind of amazing. Like the horror iconography is ingrained in everyone's mind who actually watched that when they were kids. I don't know how they got away with a lot of what they did, but like legit some of it gave me nightmares when I was a kid. I don't know how, but I don't know how they managed to put that on TV, but it's incredible. There's a show I'll talk about later on that I feel tried to emulate that but didn't do as good of a job at it, but okay job at it. You could even look at something like Gravity Falls, which I think is a bit more of I'd say it's a slightly more mature show, better better storytelling. It's actually got like an actual like, narrative to it. That's unless Courage is much more like serialized than that is. But Courage even has much more scary or vivid horror themes than Gravity Falls had. Count Chicken is a fucking insane, weird ass piece of shit, crazy show. I don't know how that was allowed on TV. Honestly, it's actually a pretty irresponsible show if you think about it. I don't think it was that good. Honestly, I don't think it was that good. I don't think it was very good for kids to watch. I don't think it was appropriate. I think it took the adult themes way too far. I think it was very funny. I don't think that any of the jokes are like clever or help kids in any way. Looking back at it, I don't think that was an okay show. Craig of the Creek, I was too young. Cramptons was another one. Like, I watched a lot. That's a show that I bring up a lot because it's like, I feel no one knows what that is. I watched that show a lot when I was a kid. And I feel that was just maybe they just like dumped it on the South Africans because like, fuck them kind of a thing. But I watched a lot of Cramptons when I was a kid. I don't think it was very good either. I think it was pretty mean-spirited. I don't think it benefited kids in any way to watch it. I don't think the humor was that good or the storytelling was that good or the animation was that good that there's any real reason for kids to watch it over better shows on at the time. But I watched a lot of it. God damn, I watched a lot of it. I didn't watch that. Dexter's Labs, obviously. I think it was Gendry Tartakovsky. And I think Seth MacFarlane worked on that as well. But I mean, obviously, it's the Cartoon Network show that people think of. It's the one that started the brand of Cartoon Network. It's obviously an S tier. I didn't watch the How to Train Your Dragons. Duck Dodgers was good. I didn't know a lot about it, but I remember the theme song just fucking slaps. Yeah, Tom Jones and the Flaming Lips did it. Ed, Edd n Eddy. That's my favorite Cartoon Network show of all time. I rewatched it during 2020, during COVID, and it was the first time I actually watched a lot of the high school episodes, because I did watch them when I was a kid. They definitely aren't as good as the first couple seasons. Like when the animation gets better, there's a dip in quality. God fucking damn it, that's such a nostalgic show for me. I love that show. Evil Concarney, I liked it. Yeah, it was fine. It definitely just wasn't as good as Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. The characters just weren't as memorable or likable or interesting or funny. The stories weren't as good, but you know, it for what it was, the grim and evil thing, it worked. Foster's is this. It has to be. I love Foster's. It made another one where it's like the beginning seasons were much better and they clearly like kind of, strangely for such an imaginative concept, they ran out ideas, I feel. I also never watched the movie as well. I don't really remember. I don't know how it like wraps up or ends, but those first couple seasons were great. Garfield show I watched. It was fine. The animation was weird. I don't remember a lot about it, but I remember it being fine. George of the Jungle is actually weirdly thinking about this the other day. What the fuck was that weird George of the Jungle show? I was looking at some clips of it as well because I was like, I don't remember anything about this, and it does not age well. The animation is also fucking terrible. What it was. Green Lantern, watch. Billy and Mandy is, yeah. So it's A tier, and as I said, this is the one I'd say it tried to do what Courage did by blending the horror aspects with the comedy aspects, but I feel they went too silly with it. Where Courage actually verged in the realm of like actual horror, like actual scary things happened in that, where I don't think they never got to a point that's actually scary. It was always just at the most just kind of strange. They never delved head into the horror concept the way that Courage did, which is fine. It's still a great show, very imaginative, very creative. I love all three of the characters. I love the side characters. Billy's dad is funny. I love the show. I just don't think it breaks this line. Never watched He-Man. I don't know what that is. Oh, this show. Okay. I did watch this show. I liked it. I kind of remember a little bit more of it than I thought I did, honestly. I remember bits from it. I couldn't remember to tell you like the story of a full episode. I remember the one episode where they had chopsticks that were straight up in their rice, which means that they had bad luck. So they had bad luck things happen to them for the rest of the episode. Two like girls that were in a band that like were famous and toured around and played music and got into hijinks. I don't remember it well enough. I'll put it there. I'd say I prefer Evil Concarney, so I'd put it there. Gumball, Ben 10, Two Step Dogs. Yeah. I'm Weasel, same thing as Count Chicken. I think it was better than Count Chicken in a way because at least it wasn't outwardly offensive as Count Chicken, but it was still very energetic and I don't think very responsible or good for kids. Infinity Train I didn't watch. I heard it was really good. Johnny Bravo's S. You know, I'm actually going to put Johnny Bravo over there. I like Johnny Bravo a lot. It's great. Important show for Cartoon Network. Seth MacFarlane, I think that was his first one where he was like the actual like creator for it. But if I'm looking at this, I prefer these two shows to Johnny Bravo. For me, in my heart of hearts, I watched a lot of Johnny Bravo as a kid. It's a great show, but I prefer these two. So, and I think if Foster's is the bar for an S tier show, I don't think Johnny Bravo breaks that. Johnny Test, I never really watched. Justice League, I didn't watch. Didn't watch any of these Justice League shows. Didn't watch Crypto. I didn't watch that. I'm gonna put it there. Long Live the Royals, I did not watch. I did not watch the new Looney Tunes show. I didn't watch Mad. I didn't watch that. Flapjack. Great. I was too old to really watch Flapjack, but I appreciate Flapjack a lot. I haven't seen a lot of Flapjack. From what I've seen, I can't say anything bad about it. Mega XLR I enjoyed. I watched a lot of it when I was a kid. I remember watching the end of it. I thought it was cool. It was kind of creative. It was the first time I heard that New Jersey was a place. I like the idea that they just had the giant thing and people just thought it was a car, like a souped up car. That was a funny, like, recurring joke. Magi swords? I don't know what that is. Mike, Lou, and August one is similar to the Cramp Twins, where it's one I feel like no one fucking remembers what the fuck this show was. I don't feel like if I talk to anyone, no one will remember the show besides like my sister and the friends I had in South Africa, because it's just so obscure and just did not stand the test of time. Chulucha. It was fun. I really I don't love it. I think I was too old, but I just didn't. I remember watching it, but I didn't love it. My gym partner is a monkey. So it's a B tier. Top of the B tier. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really funny. The theme song is probably the best part about the whole thing. And just the idea, like, you know, same as Lion, there's a school for animals for some reason. I don't know. It's a stupid premise. I think they do as well as they probably can with the premise and how dumb it is. It's fine. It's a silly show. I don't think I'd really go back and rewatch it now. And if I did, I don't think I'd really get a lot from it. Lego Ninjago, I didn't watch. OKKO, I didn't watch. Over the Garden Walls, S tier. We're listening to the music right now. It is beautiful. I think it's one of the most gorgeous things that Cartoon Network has ever done. It's so short. It tells such a great, complete story in like the length of a movie. Characters are incredible. The world is incredible. Obviously, the music is just amazing. I loved it. Really can't say many bad things about it, honestly. Wouldn't want it to be longer. It's only about 2 hours long and it's perfect. The story it tells in that time, the world it builds in that time, I loved it. Ozzy and Drex, it didn't do a lot for me. I think a lot of people really like it or have better memories of it, but I didn't. It didn't mean too much to me. Powerpuff Girls, S tier show. It's a classic. I view like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, and Ed, Edd n Eddy as kind of like the classic ones, even though I think Ed, Edd n Eddy might have been a bit later than that. So maybe those three I view as kind of like the ones that made Cartoon Network. I didn't watch the new Powerpuff Girls show. I don't know what that is. Regular show. I'm gonna put this at the top of B. So I'm gonna put this up here. Regular show is good. It's great. I was going to say it's B because I haven't watched enough of it in my life, I'd say, but from what I've seen, and I feel I've watched enough episodes to understand what the show is and the premise of it. It's great. It's so funny. The characters are weird and cool and creative and strangely real and human, and I feel they do good character work and good writing on them. The humor's there. It's a good show. Robot Boy I've seen, it's like nothing really. Yeah, it's one of those ones where I just didn't care even when I was a kid. Robot Tom, I didn't watch. Samurai Jack's S tier. I was debating putting it in A tier, but it's not. It's S tier. It's amazing. It's got great animation, great character work, amazing world building. I really can't say bad things about it. I was thinking about putting it in A tier because it's not really very funny, but there are funny enough moments to it, and it probably tells the best story out of, besides Over the Garden Wall, out of any Cartoon Network show. Scooby-Doo, I didn't watch that. Fort Awesome, I don't know what that had either. Sheep in the Big City I watched. Put it there. I liked it. Very pun-based. I don't think it's great by any means, but I think it's fine. When I was a kid, I didn't remember having any issue with it. Skunk I didn't watch. Sonic Boom I didn't watch. Space Ghost Coast to Coast is so weird. I definitely did watch it, but not a lot of it. When I was a kid, I know that people love it and swear by it. Squirrel Boy is stupid. Old one, strangely enough, as a big Star Wars fan, I didn't watch a lot of the Clone Wars. I didn't like the animation. I think it's there. It's fine. I didn't watch this. Steven Universe, I respect a lot, but I'm going to put it right next to Flapjack because I've not watched enough of it to really have a very strong opinion on it, but I have to say I've seen enough of it to say that I like it and it's good and I should respect it, and I respect the creator of it a lot, but I have not watched enough. I haven't seen that. Sunday, I haven't seen that. That is Teen Titans Go is very okay. Actually funnier than I expected it to be. Seen enough of it around my brother and sister-in-law to know that it's fine. No reason to be offended by it. The regular Teen Titans is good. I remember liking it when I was a kid, but I wasn't obsessed with it, and I didn't follow it to the point that I have the emotional connection that I know a lot of other people have of it. Tig Seek I did not watch. Okay, Time Squad I watched, definitely, and that's a C tier show to end all C tier shows. It was completely fine. It was one of the ones I think with like the George of the Jungle and Mike, Lou, and Og, the Cramp Twins, where it's just like, what the fuck was that show? Why does no one remember this? Such a strange fucking thing. Okay, Total Drama Island is for me an S tier show. I'm sorry, it just is. I love it. I don't know what it is about those first 3 seasons. Oh, we've just season 1 and 3. Season 2 isn't even that good. But season 1 and 3 is so fucking good. I love it so much. I don't know why I have such a connection to that show, but I fucking love it to death. Honestly, yeah, one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows. What does that honestly? I'd put that over Candy. I never watched The Redonkulous Race. I never watched Total Drama Rama. I didn't want to watch it once they removed the core cast, because then I was just like, I really actually don't care. I didn't want to watch a new set of characters do new things. I just wanted to watch the characters I liked. Totally Spies was cool. That was a good show. I watched a lot of it when I was a kid, but I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember really liking the characters. Transformers I didn't watch. Uncle Grandpa I've not seen enough of. Unikitty, nope. Victor, nope. Villainous, I don't know that. We Bare Bears is cool. I put it there. It's such a cute show. Very sweet, and I like the characters of the bears. It's a cute ass show. It's very sweet and wholesome and friendly, and I have no issue with it. I don't know what a cartoon actually is. Robot Jones I didn't watch. I didn't watch the new Scooby-Doo show. Shaolin I am gonna put here for no other reason than I don't really remember a lot of it. I remember thinking that I watched Avatar, but I actually watched Shaolin. But I remember it being kind of cool when I was a kid. Based off of memories upon memories of watching something. I don't know. I know that the critical video that I watched said that he thought it was amazing. So maybe if I go and watch it again, I think it would be amazing. But from my memory of watching it, I don't remember thinking that highly of it. Young Justice, Annoying Orange, I didn't watch, thank God. Hero 108, I didn't watch. Thundercats, Roar, Batman, the animated series I did watch, and that was really good. I didn't love it, but it's good. Superman I didn't watch. Elliot from Earth I did not watch. The Baby Bears I didn't watch. Jellystone I didn't watch. Steven Universe Future. Huh. Yeah, the Fungi, Steven Universe Future, and then Grim and Evil, I don't know what to do with that, because as I said, Evil Concarne and Billy and Mandy are already there, and I feel like ranking them separately is more beneficial than putting Grim and Evil together, because that just brings this down and then brings this up. Then it just goes into B, and then what's the point in that? Yeah, I'd say this is my list. I'm happy with this. The only 2 things I'd say is I feel bad putting Billy and Mandy and Camp Lazlo not in the S tier, because I feel they mean a lot to me as shows, but I feel that'd be kind of like overcrowding the S tier a little bit and taking away any of its meaning. And I do think that they are a bit of a step below this level of quality. So I'm happy with this. Billy and Mandy is great. I love it. Camp Lazlo's not as good, but I still love it. Yeah, I'm happy with this list, I think. I think it's a good list for what it is.